disappear. Magic. EP is mandatory. Gloves. Oh. Get the fuck off my bike. I fell through the map. Boots. Ooh. High vis. There you go. I have just changed it. Hard hat. Oh, fuck me.
That was scary.
We're ready, games. Knife fight! Knife fight! I fucking won the knife fight! I South Londoned him! Fuck you! Say the fucking line! Say it. Yes!
Hell
Bingo!
yeah, brother! Hell yeah!
Bingo! Fuck yes! Fuck you, Ashley! You shut the fuck up! Zombie toes? For free? Body of Christ is bread, right? Yeah, and then wine is the egg. No, wait, no! No! Wine is the blood! Wine is the egg! Smash it.
Freaking way.
No!
Now you see me. Now you don't.
Dan's dead. Everyone, Dan's dead. Run for the hills.
I got. Where's the Danny gun? Here he is. Where's the Danny gun? Here he is. Where's the Danny gun? Yes.
The funny thing is, because I've got the tab for the stream muted.
Well, as you can clearly hear, guys, those that have came in from the raid, this is an interesting place to exist.
His name! I love his name! His name's Mr. Goofy!
Oh no! Oh god! What the fuck?
Oh, bye.
Oh, hello there!
Let's go.
Wow.
Nice a fucking go.
You're one of the main people. Oh,
I'm
He's got his homies back, like, you know.
Hi everybody.
G.
Hi everybody watching right now. How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing fine. Today, it is Chapter 3, Episode 2. We're gonna see if you cool cats, after surviving a battle with some water elementals off the southern coast of the island that contains the Ivory Sands outpost, not Golden Sands, sorry, that's from Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah.
Golden Sands outpost is Sea of Thieves. Ivory Sands, yeah, it's very different, honest, I promise. Off the southern coast, you guys had an encounter, and that was after pulling away and making a deal with some mercenaries for some lumber so that they can set up a temporary outpost while they conduct warm weather training. Yes, what would you like to add to that? Ben?
Cough.
No, I just assumed you were interjecting for a reason. Just dying?
Just dying.
Okay, fair enough. Can you die quieter, please?
You see, my cardiovascular respiratory system has this weird thing that if it feels like there's something inside it, I have to cough. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that.
Right.
Deal with something inside it, Ben.
oh. Moving on. Uh-oh, he's choking. Everybody.
No, Liam wants to choke me.
Liam, back up. He's choking.
Oh, God.
Take a step back. Let him
Christ
breathe.
almighty.
Let the boy breathe.
Oh,
Move
dear.
that 2 centimeters. No, I mean, what?
Why do I think this is going to become a short at some point? Let's move on.
Oh, it's definitely not short.
Oh
God.
Sweet baby Jesus of all the orphans.
we're going to the bad place, guys. We're definitely going down.
I mean, you say Gary,
Well,
but
Liam
we are
is.
here. We are
Yeah.
here, motherfuckers.
We're going to start today's session
Please.
aboard
Yeah.
the ship after you just finished the combat. It was tough, it was tight, but you all managed to survive. The boat took very, very minor damage, actually, which hopefully Dol should be able to use some of the lumber that's aboard the ship to fix over time. Montrose had a couple of close calls with Ike and Tyke going man on man with the ballista, and I believe we even saw a bit of combat from Shell, which was interesting.
Yeah.
So, we're going to start the session here. I'll put you back on the region map because we hopefully don't need this map for a little bit. And obviously, if anybody would like to converse in some roleplay, as we're going to pick off just as combat's ended, you certainly may. As you are still heading to Siren's Rest, you guys are there on the map, and obviously, Siren's Rest is here where you are going to.
Mm.
You may begin.
Yeah, I would. Josiah would seek out Polar
Okay.
and just sort of open up a sort of general conversation of like, so how long have you been a free folk of the coast then, or a pirate, or whatever you would call it?
I met the Baroness about 5 years ago. I'd maybe had a few months prior around on my own.
I see. So what do you think of being on board this ship?
It's a lot smaller, quieter. I've been on a lot of ships. This is one of the smallest I've ever been on, to be fair.
Just as an interjection, I've just put 3 red crosses on Siren's Rest. Those are the cutout parts of the maps. Just as an FYI. Carry on.
Yeah, I made my living for the Baroness, kind of moving around on my own. So I spent a lot of time working with various different crews, doing various different things.
Hmm.
The
So-
ship's not bad, but you're not going to get much done. I'd get more more ballistas if you want to take on this Prescott.
Well, I've got a plan to maybe we need to acquire a couple more ships
Mhm.
and some soldiers. But do you see yourself working with us for a while then? I wasn't.
I've been given my leave and I'm getting free lessons. I'm more than happy to help you go after this Prescott, and then we'll see from there.
Sounds agreeable. Is there anything you want to ask me?
Looks at the bunny. Where did you find that one?
Kind of found us.
Hmm.
He was here when we were attacked at the Ivory Sands outpost. He helped us, and we sort of contracted him to help with Jacob, and he's actually being a proficient fighter.
Yeah.
Just yeah, no, I haven't seen his like either, and I've been trying to sound him out, find out about him. He's a little odd, from a different place.
Yes.
He's, I don't know. He seems okay. He had a thing about names, and now he doesn't.
Right.
And then Giselle do the awkward, like, nod his head with his big hat on.
And Montrose, after organising some of the crew following the combat's foreclosure, will come up to you a bit shell-shocked, but okay, and go, Capitan, well, ready to continue? Shall we set sail immediately?
Sounds good. How are you faring?
It was a closer shave than I would get to prefer to have happen again.
That's same. Same. We lost one like that a time before, so I'm glad we've learned and kept you safe.
Yes, well, it seems that you're all competent and well equipped. So, we will shall drop the sails to full. Will you please position them? We'll go southward around the whirlpool and carry on our journey.
Very good. Make it so.
Yes, Capitan. And Capitan's other, gesturing to Polo.
Yeah.
Capitan's what?
Other.
Other.
What? I don't know what that means. Does that mean
The other one, because don't forget, Polo was in joined the ship after.
Oh, he doesn't know my name yet.
Oh, so he's like,
And not only that as well, but as far as Montrose is probably concerned, from your perspective, it's not a part of the hiring crew, so it's not an employer. It's like a guest on the ship.
It just sounded like you were basically making her out to be like his partner of some kind.
Yeah,
it was
that's
like,
what I-
oh,
No.
Yeah.
Because I was the one that said make it so.
No. It was meant more like the other one, you.
Well, what did Paula say to make him say that?
No. You guys haven't introduced Polo to the crew or anything.
Right, okay,
as far as
okay.
as far as Montrose is aware, this is just a nobody guest on the ship.
Oh,
This isn't
right,
a member
okay.
of the crew. Nobody's explained that to these guys.
Right, okay. He's like, okay. Well, actually, he'll get everyone together. Just I'll be like, okay, if they don't fucking know, he'll be like, everyone come together, quick, just before we set sail again. 2 things. 1, thank you all, well done on hard combat 1. And 2, this is Polar. She is seconded to us from the Baroness. She is part of our war band, our ship band. And she'll fight alongside us for the time being.
Yeah, and Polo, you will get a mixture of greetings and hand signals of like hi from different people.
Yeah. I wave back and shake people's hand if it's offered.
Yeah. Right, well, now
Yep.
this is all clarified. I should maybe in the next day or so be arriving at Ceron's Rest.
maybe, Captain, we should take our time. I only say so we can maybe rest before we arrive at Simon's Rest.
I think I would say make normal pace. We can rest and take it in shifts, but remember this is Prescott's territory now. I kind of want us to be on alert, and I kind of want us to be in and out as soon as possible.
Very well.
Because it's my understanding, Danny, that he could outrun the ship.
As in your ship could outrun
Yeah.
Prescott's.
Well, I thought his bigger ship could be quicker than ours.
Yes, no, it will be. Yeah,
but yeah.
your ship is slower than ships bigger than you, and
More maneuverable.
it's not as maneuverable as compared to ships of
Fuck's sake.
compared to ships of a similar size. Like you guys have. You must remember this ship that you're using
It's a ship, yeah.
was
I know.
built by a singular halfling over years who didn't know how to build a ship.
He was built boat building for dummies, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to
Yeah.
remember, comparable for its size, it is slower than ships in its size category. It turns worse. It has less defenses. It is general dog's body of a ship. It's awful. But the problem is, this was rushed and built together by hand with no, like, heavy tools by a guy that didn't know how to build ships. Because this was built by Thalen as a means of escaping the island that he was imprisoned on.
Yeah, but my thinking is that the Monarch's Bane,
Yes.
it is bigger and less maneuverable than this, even though we are less maneuverable than something that's
It
the
is
same
quick.
size
It
as
is the Monarch's Bane. You would probably presume is definitely quicker, and can probably turn slightly worse or about the same.
Okay, all right. That shit's on my plan. Then.
We need a
Okay.
new ship.
Yeah, we do.
We need a new ship.
Or
Yeah.
you need to
Real
upgrade
strong.
the existing one.
Yes.
Either or works.
What was there any speed upgrades? Because I didn't really see. Because we would probably need the whole boat retrofitted on.
You
the
definitely
Prince of
could.
Blossom, didn't it?
You definitely could, but it's not the wood that would be that. That would be more of the canvas and the sails. Or if you ever found a means of enchanting the vessel, you could probably enchant the vessel.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay.
Like
Make it a plus
like,
one boat.
Like, well, no, I'm more thinking like you could enchant the sails with gust of wind
Yeah.
to help propel them harder and faster, and various other options like that. There are options outside of obvious things if you start to include enchantments, but those are much harder to come by, obviously. But, you know, in terms of speed, the main things you're going to want to do, it's going to be your rudder and your sails more than anything, which is more of the textile sections, the ropes and the linens. That's going to be what affects your speed, because you can't change the shape of the ship without completely rebuilding it from scratch, which is just not plausible. Changing the wood is more or less going to help with its hydrodynamics and durability.
So a bit more speed, but durability.
Yeah, wood is going to help with probably turning and durability, whereas your sails and your rope are probably going to be more your speed. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of other options, obviously, if you... And you've also got to consider as well, you are carrying close to 60% capacity of weight. So that's going to weigh you down as well. You are a heavy boy at the minute. So you're riding a bit lower in the waves, you're a bit slower. Obviously, if you tossed it or sold it or whatever, your load would be better.
Got it. Okay. We'll make way to the southern island and Simon's Rest.
I will continue to slowly chip away as you guys travel.
At some point, I would like to also grab Polar. If it
Okay.
is not too troublesome. It could be immediately after this conversation or later on in the day. It's up to you. If you're willing
Yeah.
to be grabbed.
At some point during the travel as well, before we get into the conversation, you do notice that you, in the distance, pass in the vicinity of, and if I show you here, you pass on the southern side of a small island.
Huh.
So just as a note, there is something else there.
Can I do a history check?
Yeah.
Because I might have heard of an island between Ulster's Den and...
Yeah, it sounds possible.
Okay. 11. Also possible I get advantage.
You don't get advantage, but it does affect the DC. You don't know much about the island, but you are aware of an island's existence. I am going to... I may as well reveal the island. As you would have probably have heard the name in passing, but you've never been there. It is the island known as the Bitterlisp Bearers. As far as you're aware, it's uninhabited, but that doesn't stop, like, singular people taking up residency. Again, I've tried to
Yeah.
color code the island, so any that have got a green outline, are uninhabited, and that basically means there is not a settlement. That doesn't mean there is no person on the island at all. It just means there's no established roots in settlement. Things with white outlines like Ivory Sands, Ulster's Den, the Shockjade Expedition are islands that have proper building structures like towns, villages, whatever.
Just a question for everyone. What was at Crescent Slants?
Crescent Slant.
Bear with me.
I could tell you, but I'll wait because I think it's interesting to see what people remember. I mean, there is a fox there and a fish.
Oh,
From what I
that's,
can
that's
see.
why I was like, it looked like someone had teleported there because there's not a travel path.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
we
yeah.
haven't done that.
Right.
Josiah's just like, as they're saying, he's like, after Siren's Rest, I would like to sell more of this wood, so I was wondering about heading up to Crescent Slants.
Wait a second.
Take my wood. Someone take my wood.
Just anyone have it at this point.
I am quick reading. Bear with me.
I'll give you a
we
clue,
can have this
Rose.
conversation.
I'll give you a clue. It was session 1.
Session 1. Cool. Thank you.
We can have this conversation later. We need to do the whole thingy before, the whole Siren's Rest before, so you got time. Rather than speed reading and missing.
I'm trying to remember, but I think it is where the circus ship was hijacked. Is that right?
Nope.
Nope. Why have I not wrote this down?
The
Right, carry on, I'm gonna have to-
the ship where the circus was hijacked was actually outside of the archipelago, to the north of the archipelago entirely. The ship was hijacked and then towed in to the archipelago. It was took to Ivory Sands, and then obviously that's where deals were struck during the travel with the Baroness. Crescent Slants, and the only reason why that is exposed to you is because it was a map that was purchased off an old fisherman. You purchased this map as he mapped the area out because apparently there was some, like, large schools of fish and, like, those that were a bit more valuable than others. And it was a map showing you where the Crescent Slant Island was, if you ever wished to go and fish. But I believe at the time it was bought by Michael as a means of trying to power through mapping the islands as quick as possible.
I think that's why I haven't got it written down on.
Yeah.
Do I
Reading
really,
fast.
do I really want to sell wood and get the hole full of shit and fish then? For the fucking Delbo of the waves. Oh.
That's it. It was session 3 where we got the Siren's Rest farm.
Yes. No, this was done before the Duragar attacked.
Shit.
No,
Right.
I have written down purchase a map for the Crescent Slants
There
to the
you go.
northwest of the Ivory Sands
There you go.
outpost.
It was a fishing map, yeah.
Josiah purchases some written contracts to ensure everyone in the party is blah 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 blah. Dirty pictures.
Yeah, sounds like first session.
Yeah, that sounds about
This is
right.
This is session 3, actually, in my notes. I was, I was tempted today to bring my notes with me, but I've realised how much secret stuff I put in them. I was like, I can't take those.
Yeah, there's just so much you
Same.
just don't want to show anybody.
Yeah, because I'm currently on page 63? 60,
Yeah.
61, 62. 62.
That's a bit
I've got
shit.
extensive notes.
What are
Why
you,
not
7 off?
69? Yeah.
Yeah. 7 off.
So I'm not
I
there.
was saying that in
be
YouTube, I couldn't even
fair-
repeat me.
The session notes do start at page 20 because I've written down all sorts of other stuff that I might like, like NPC trackers and keys and goal lists and stuff like that. I'm trying to note take properly this campaign.
I appreciate it. Well,
Thank you.
the
So, yeah,
night,
Crescent Slants.
as going past bitter list bearers, the night will eventually begin to draw in, and Montrose has explained that he's roughly worked it out that you'll hit the southern island come the mid to late afternoon, he reckons, of the next day. So,
Could I
what?
chat to Polar then
Okay.
in the evening?
Yes, sorry, I
Karen,
did cut
finish
you-
doing what you're
No,
doing.
I cut you off to explain the bitter list bearers, and then you never had that conversation. Have it.
Hello. She'll just wander off.
Hello.
Devoid of big hat. Are you free, or are you busy doing something?
No, I'm free.
Excellent. I just wanted to ask a quick question, because I think I did speak to you about this. But did you say that your specific school was aimed towards...
Illusions.
what was it again? That was it. Illusions. Are you against other spells?
If they're useful, I'll give them a go.
Every spell is useful. This is just in the hands that is used.
Hmm.
That is what an old lecturer to myself. Well, I'm a little bit self-made, to be honest, but you know what those people say. They are too fancy. So, what spells do you currently possess? I noticed you did some sort of fog when we were in
yes.
the Wanty.
The fog cloud.
It is a useful spell, no? It does cover those kind of areas. The problem is it moves if it's used outside. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
Excellent. I was wondering if I would be able to teach you a spell sometime. I do have one in mind.
Let's go for it. Let's give it a go. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
It is fairly simple. Only needs a little bit of power, but has great potential
Okay.
in the right hands. Okay. How are you at distracting people?
I cast Improved Minor Illusion,
Okay.
and Josiah taps her on the shouts behind her.
Josiah or Shell? Because I had two different names.
Josiah.
Josiah.
Make sail!
Yeah.
An illusionist.
Mhm.
Nice.
Make sail!
I get rid of him.
Yeah. One is enough, trust me.
Oh.
That came out a little weirder than I meant it to be. Are you able to disguise yourself? And I will cast disguise self on myself so I appear to look like Polar. Mirror image.
Okay. I put my hood up, turn around, and when I turn back around, I look like Navarra.
This could be
Fucking
interesting.
Spies.
Okay.
This is where you're burning all your spell slots showing off, and there's a second
Yeah.
encounter.
I only had one left. That was like my last one, but I only had one left anyway. I burned all of them in the last encounter I had first. Okay. We could have much fun with this. I am thinking we could throw them for a little bit of a loop.
Okay.
But no, I just mean that if we ever needed to switch for some reason.
Sure. Is that likely to come up?
Maybe at some point, a body double always works well, especially if you're going to encounter somebody that you are trying to not be seen or hide from. It also means that we both have different skill sets, somewhat, even though we are more similar than I originally thought. Okay. So you already have that spell. Excellent. What about distracting through the use of words?
The use of words, other than the illusions that can either be visual, audible, or both.
Well, have you
Really?
noticed sometimes in combat how I am able to distract the opponent so that they miss? Or potentially miss?
Okay. I don't have anything like that.
Cool. I will show you. I cannot show you now because I just burned my last bit of energy. Because sometimes I am an idiot. But I will show you the structure of how to alter things. Not in time, but just generally. All it takes is a quick little bit of distraction, so that could change all of the outcome. And I will begin showing. Well, I'll get out my wizard book. We all have a spell book, and kind of start showing the beginning structure of Silvery Barbs. So I don't think you have Silvery Barbs. Am I right?
No.
No, cool.
God fucking
Because
damn
Silvery
it.
Barbs. Well, it was either that or shield, but or maybe alacrity. Oh, what wizard? Yeah, pick up shield
I think
or
I've
gift
got
of
it where it's not.
alacrity.
I've got it where it's not prepped. Shield.
This is
That's the
it.
thing.
That's kind of what hinders wizards if you have access to so many spells, but it does get a little bit like trying to pick what spells you're going to use. And also, because we'd mentioned outside of game about not teaching Dunamantic spells, so anything that's like time wizardy, because it's specific. I don't know. Danny's World, way.
I shouldn't be allowed to learn it. Yeah.
It's just keep it to the rules as
Law-wise. Yeah.
whatever the mechanics of the class is. I ain't gonna tweak it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
I believe it's
not all spells are used.
yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
certain
but for
ones,
you,
isn't
if
it?
you want, yeah, if you want only Graviturgist and Chronologist wizards to be able to use those specific spells. That's
Oh, yeah,
sound
yeah.
just above
Yeah,
us.
because I believe with Arcane Trickster, you're limited to certain types of magic, aren't you?
Not an arcane trickster. Actual
He's
wizard.
not.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I would say with okay, with the unique magics, we'll call them, like Chronomancy and Dunamancy, because they're technically quote marks unique, if that makes sense. I would say you would need to be taught, but yeah, you could be taught by Nivara those spells to learn in time.
It'll take longer.
Yeah,
than-
you couldn't. I wouldn't without an explanation. I wouldn't let a wizard just pick them unless they had like prior history, like Nivara does.
Yeah.
Like, but
okay.
but like in this case, I wouldn't allow Nivara to pick up Dunamancy because it doesn't make sense. But Chronomancy does.
Well, they're under the. So Chronomancy and Gravimancy are under the same bracket, which is
Right.
Dunamancy.
Okay, so
But
okay,
I get what you're meaning.
Oh, I thought they were different things. Oh, if they're under the same branch, according to the lore of the game, then that's fine.
So, well, one of them, Gift of Alacrity, is like a Chronomancy spell, Dunamancy,
Right.
but it is also a divination spell.
Yeah, the biggest thing is
They
as well,
have
I trust you two to pick spells that make sense rather than just picking the most effective.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
no, no, no.
fine. I'm
I
not
just
worried,
thought
yeah.
Silvery Barbs will be
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, and the thing is, it's something you use quite often, and I can't see it hurting that you would teach. It's, if anything, I would probably say it would probably most likely be the first spell you teach because of how critical it can be.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it'll,
definitely.
And it'll stop you sounding like a crazy person when you say you're able to control everyone's fate.
I'm teaching somebody else to do it. But I still think, I do agree with you that certain spells that would be deemed as Dunamantic might be more difficult
Yeah,
to
but I
learn.
trust you two to take that under your own brevity.
Yeah, avoid the meta.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like. I don't expect you to sit there and actually like try and pitch me why you think it's okay. If you believe it to be okay, I will trust you.
Yeah.
And
If you
that,
know
fine.
in your heart
Yeah.
it's okay.
and that trust will remain until I have any reason to distrust.
No longer trust.
Yeah, there
okay,
you
cool.
To be fair, it would be highly unlikely that she'd teach other people how to change time and stuff like that
Yeah.
based on the stuff that she knows can go wrong from it. So she's not.
Yeah.
She's unlikely to do it. Like in certain people's hands, it could be world destroying. So she's not going to do that. Like she's going to teach what she thinks is more appropriate for you as well. Because you're specifically your own type of wizard, and me trying to teach you how to be like me isn't going to work. You know?
Yeah.
You've got to be your own person. I mean, I could teach you Find Familiar as well if you like the idea of that, but
That would be good. Later, maybe. Let's
yeah, later.
focus on one at a time.
Yeah, in character, she will begin to show you through the steps, and you can see that mainly is just has verbal components, and it seems to be a quick, like short, sharp set of words that seem to distract your enemy or even a colleague. But she will explain that obviously you take the potential energy from one person from that off-cast, like off-base attack, in order to bring it over to somebody else. You give them more potential, but through a small distraction. Much like if you are on opposites of somebody, you can use the other person to distract so you can get a better hit on the person. It is a similar principle, but this is through magic means, because you can be a fair distance away and still cast it, so the caster might not be able to hear you, but they still
And during
can
this,
take it.
and during obviously these times where you're having these in-depth conversations about the magics and various things that you can teach, and maybe even demonstrating, leading into the night, you will all eventually long rest.
How long does it
I
take,
would.
mechanically wise, how long will it take me to learn Silvery Barbs then?
Oh,
A bit.
good question.
You have no paper. We need to pick up paper so you can get it in
Okay.
your spell
Oh yes, that's a good point. But let's have a look. Just on the assumption you had it, how long? Do you know what I mean? Because it'd probably be a good thing for you to know. So when eventually you do get your hands on some paper,
We've got it. Yeah.
yeah.
So for wizards, it takes a number of hours and an amount of money compared to each level of the spell. This is a level 1 spell.
Right. So
So bear
for
with me. I'm
each
just...
level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and 50 gold pieces worth of components. So Silvery Barbs being a level 1 spell would take you 2 hours and 50 gold's worth of paper and ink.
We need to get you
And
some
then
paper.
it's okay.
So yeah, for every level, it's 2 hours and 50 gold. So if it was a
2 hours
second
and
level,
50 gold.
so if it was a second level, it'd be 4 hours, 100 gold. Level 3, 1 hour and a half. No, 6 hours, 150. So on, so on.
Cool.
Up to level
Nivara
9.
will ask. Sorry.
E.
Yeah, I think at a certain level, there's no point you'll be spending a month doing it.
Yeah.
Well, not a month, but 18 hours is a long period of time to try and learn a 9th level spell, but kind of makes sense. At some point, Nivara, while she's showing, will go, so how did you pick up magic?
The book, I kind of stole off someone. And
Okay.
to repay them back, I ended up working for them. Hint, hint, the
Is that
Baroness.
Oh no, I got the hint. You did not need to explain. Oh, so, but she is not a spellcaster.
No, it was in some loots they got.
Oh. Did you have an interest in magic beforehand?
As much as anyone. But really, when I started seeing the spells and what they could actually do, then very much so. Got interested.
And you are willing to continue your studies?
Yeah.
What do you want to do with magic?
Just
Every wizard.
more skills, help you survive, help you make money.
You can tell you are new. Every wizard, and this is probably a little out there, as so many wizards would disagree, but there is a reason why we go after magic. Something inside you. It may be for survivability, but would you not want to reach the very pinnacles of magic?
I've got enough money to retire. That's kind of what all pirates are working towards, really.
But what if you could be something other than a pirate? Other than waiting for your next meal? Other than taking money from others in order to line your own pocket? Would you?
Sure. Maybe.
Would you like to learn how to make your own home just appear? Or how to break the very reality that we stand in?
First one, yes. Second, not so much.
No. I didn't think you were that type of wizard.
No.
Honestly,
No.
stepping onto the first stages of magic it can seem a little daunting, like you are barely scratching the surface. But I have read many a book over the years and met many great archmages, and the one thing that I can all say about all of them and every book is the potential is enormous. Like, did you know that there used to be great and powerful levels of magic, but they were struck? Like, you are not able to do them anymore. And these could be things that could literally bend everything. Is that not
Okay.
fascinating?
It's a little scary, to be honest.
Yes, but think about how powerful. I do realize I am speaking to somebody that you have been used to using your own hands, but imagine you could have massive hands that float through the air and able to do your bidding. Or that you're able to literally stop time, or have meteors rain from the sky.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I just want money. Maybe that's the pirate in me talking.
I think that's maybe the pirates. You and Desire are very similar in that regard. But at the same time, like, I just want to understand it at the core, you know, with magic, and just see what I could do. But instead, I became a time agent, and I'm trying to stop the world from collapsing in on itself.
Say agent.
Is that not what I said last time?
Oh, did that come up before? I knew you were time. You went through the time stuff. You didn't go through an agency.
Oh.
She did say, this is Ben. She did say, because I
Hi,
just said
Ben.
like, hi guys, Ben here.
Hi, man.
Large Ben.
She did say, Naivara did say something about being in an organisation, because I was like, oh, Josiah was like, oh, you're a time weaver, some cool name, and then she didn't say what the name was, but she did allude to.
It has been vaguely mentioned. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's me
Keyword
forgetting.
vague.
Mm.
But as you guys are talking, Montrose will eventually shout a shrill across the ship. Capitan, we've found the island. We should be reaching Siren's Rest in probably an hour or so. Looks to be
make
the
prep.
southern island.
Excellent. Make preparations to land there.
Very well, Capitan. And calls are made across the ship as the ship is adjusted and preparing for docking on the, well, mooring. Arriving.
If he, it's just so they don't get confused, if he can try and explain the northern side of the southern island.
Understood, Capitan.
Yeah.
Shell, will you prepare some rope, please? Because we're going to need a lot of it to make sure the ship does not get away.
That would be ideal.
It's the one downfall with the ship not having an anchor.
Naivara, please, can you put that on the list?
Will do.
That's it.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
I say it, and I still look like Naivara.
Oh,
we've done this entire thing.
Bear in mind, this
You talking to yourself?
I know,
Yeah.
like I time skipped a little bit. This is the next day, but yeah, if you wish to remain, this is like.
Have we long rested?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. We all quickly long rest.
So yeah, you've potentially just burned a spell slot by accident there. If you wish to retrieve it, you're okay.
Take it back.
Yeah, I still don't like Naivara.
Okay, no, you okay? No, fair enough. He's doubling down on the bit. I appreciate it. You know, actually, you know what, Matt? You can have an inspiration for doubling down on the bit.
Whee.
I'm
I
going
appreciate that
to-
he's like, nah, fuck it, I've done it now. I appreciate that.
I was just
You
trying to
see
see
two
if I-
Noibaras.
Okay, yeah, I was going to see.
Yeah,
I'm rolling inside
but the
to see
thing
who I
is, the
could-
one Nivara's dressed in like the big sun hat and like the white dress, I would imagine, or something similar. The other
I'm
one's dressed
still
like
in my
the other one
robe.
she's dressed like Polar.
Oh,
No, dress.
okay.
So disguise self, you can change your clothes as
Yeah.
well.
You're thinking of changeling rules.
Yeah, changelings can't change their clothes, but disguise self can change your clothes.
Mine's just my face.
Oh, okay.
Might be it might be the cantrip. It might be minor illusion.
Could be using anything. I've got multiple.
Gee, spy.
So, you see Nivara in a big sun shirt with her. Well, she's got leggings now, hasn't she? Because her dress got all
She's a little
torn up
bit
and
more
her pants is
parity
set.
than.
Oh
yeah.
yes.
Slightly, but she's still wearing a waistcoat, and her top is a bit, one of them fancy like peasant tops. Is the way
This
that
is
I'm imagining it.
season 3 skin, so yeah.
Yeah. Look, we have to update our aesthetics, guys. It needs to have. You've got a big hat. I've got a hat. I have to do something else.
We are
But yeah.
not the same.
But yeah, so you see Nivara dressed in her normal way, and then Nivara dressed in Polar's clothes? Or would you recognise Polar's clothes at this point?
Yeah.
You've seen her for a few days.
Yeah, like at least a week. That's a cool trick.
Oh, kind of feels the face and goes, puts the hood up, rubs the face, and I'm back as Polar.
Ah. Yeah. I can see why you did the profession you're doing.
I'm very good at my job.
Evidently.
So, I hear we are going to arrive shortly.
Yes, we should be. I mean, positioning ourselves on the north side. We should be getting there very soon. We'll just make sure we get I can get the ship tied to a few trees nearby, just so we don't float away while you are doing your business.
Excellent. I am looking forward to doing a little bit of raiding. How exciting!
We'll all be the
Maybe we
finest raiders this island has ever seen. It
Oh,
won't.
that is
The
very
island
good of
won't
you.
know what hit it.
Well, I'm kind of hoping we're the only raiders this island. More treasure for the taking.
Well, they may have died, Capitan. You might be able to get the
True.
treasure and their treasure too.
Ever the optimist.
It's called double treasure, yes?
Classic
This
pirate saying.
this does remind me of something that
If
was
it's
in my
on a
list.
corpse, the taking is yours.
Well, unless that corpse is moving.
Well,
So we should be.
that's
maybe
what the
a
cleric
little
friend's
aware.
for, yes?
But maybe we should be looking if there are any traps of any sort. Is anybody able to do that?
I know my
I
way
can
around
look for
traps.
arcane.
There you go, Paula.
Excellent. So you look for mechanical, and I'm sure you should be able to look for arcane as well, being a wizard. I'll obviously assist you in this. Oh, it is like a field trip.
Like an apprentice, yeah, just like, right, you see that? That's a bad rune. This is how you disable it. Touch it on the left, so no, the left side. Fuck! Deck save.
Does the term nerds exist in your world?
It does
It's
now.
about to.
It does now.
You would just be like, fucking nerds. Like, they're like, oh, on a field trip.
Well, I'd imagine it wouldn't. The word while it would probably be something different than nerd, but definitely something to the effect like
We'll work on it.
like book like worms or something, like, you know what I mean, like,
fucking scholars.
yeah, just like fucking
Scholar.
scholars. Yeah,
Yeah, fucking
Scholar.
scholar. Yeah.
scholar
I mean, would
types.
you want it any other way, Josiah? As we are going to help you to get in.
No,
Is this-
you're just taking all the romantic adventure out of it. Oh, let's make a field trip. Oh, we're here for adventure and money. Like,
Eventually, the ship will get positioned on the northern side of the southern island, and Ike and Tyke will like jump into the shallows and wade through the rope and tie it to the trees, and Shell will assist them. make sure the knots are safe. And the ship does bobble about in the ocean, but essentially what they've done is they've tied a rope to the front of the boat and to the back of the boat, but it does like kind of wiggle back and forth where it is a little bit. It's not perfect because every time that you've moored the ship up before, it's been tied to a dock or another ship. This is the first time you have ever moored it to nothing. Because you've moored it to the ship with the mercenaries, you moored it to the Dawning Gaia and docks. It's secure, but if those ropes ever get cut, good luck.
Right, I'm writing my own list.
Eventually,
Zaya's list.
it will be secure, and Montrose will just declare, we have successfully moored ourselves to Simon's Rest. Obviously, we will protect the ship and make sure it does not go away while you all conduct your business.
How
Excellent.
about
well done.
if it is that you get detached, or if you are spot something and you need to get away, maybe you could come back in 2 days' time. And if we do not come, we are dead. And if we do, just in case, collateral, right? Is that the right word? No, it is not.
I understand. Shall we say if we don't hear back from you all in 3 days, that something has gone terribly wrong?
Yes.
But the islands here are small anyway, and I believe you needed to go to all three, so we should see you back soon, hopefully by the end of the day. But we'll 3 days will be the rule.
Well, what I'll say as well, on the third day, update it when you see a white fox. If you see a white fox, then it rolls over.
A
Yes,
white
no,
fox?
Laura?
I'm sorry?
Your,
Oh,
your thing.
if it is... Yes, so... so are you saying that if you haven't seen the white fox by day 3, then go? Just in case we
Yes.
need to send it as a... Yes, we can do that.
It's
I
just
might even attach a little message. Just
you do
saying
that,
we are
that's even
busy.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Right, that's me prepared. Are we all ready?
Aye.
Yes, I will pick up the maps.
Good luck to you all.
Keep us
To you
safe,
too,
Montrose.
Montrose.
Descending from the side of the ship, through the ladder on the side, you eventually put boots to sand on the first bit of solid ground since the island, the Cloudbreaker. And you step foot, and you look at the 3 maps, and you easily discern which islands you're on based on the map, the island shapes. And with now your keen mind feat, you have a greater understanding of directions, obviously because you know which way is north, so you're able to orientate yourself in the best way possible, if that makes sense. So you may do a survival check to begin following the map, trying to find the point. I will give you specifically advantage because of keen mind and the obviously knowing where north is at all times. You're able to always make sure you don't misorientate yourself on the map, if that makes sense.
Could I ask one quick question before we go any further and I forget? How many days
No.
has it been since we left? Oh,
Go on, well.
how many days has it been since we left Ivory Sands? I know we've had one night,
Right, okay.
so this
Give
is
me a
like
sec. Give me
yeah.
a sec.
Because when we left Ivory Sands, did it take us over a day to get to Cloudbreakers?
I
And then another-
believe I worked it out to be 3.5 to 4 days ish, and then from Cloudbreaker, it would be 3 days to Ivory Sands, 4 days to Siren's Rest.
So another week.
So it's
Cool.
been a week. It's been a week, yeah.
I will pay the crew.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm just going to keep track of it.
Yeah, it was 3 days from Ivory Sands to Cloudbreaker, 4 days from Cloudbreaker to Siren's Rest. Obviously, a little bit longer than anticipated. It should have been 3.5 days, but you was caught up in some heavy combat that did disrupt, and the fact you had to dodge a whirlpool.
has oh my god, what's his name? Sorry,
Doll?
the carpenter Doll. Has he been fixing the ship as well? whilst
Yes.
we've been traveling.
I would say he did have to use some of the wood that was stored away on the ship. We will say he was able to fully heal the ship, but he did use, in the process, 16 pounds of wood.
£16, perfect. Thank you. Sorry, doing.
But the
what's
ship
that stuff?
is fully healed. All of the hull damage has been rectified, and honestly, the wood that was replaced was old shit wood anyway. So
Yeah,
probably
we'd already got a reserve. So.
yeah. Whereas the wood he's used to fix has been cherry blossom wood.
Ah.
If not, I was going to ask for them to do it whilst we were away.
Yeah.
But it's already been solved. Sound.
It's something that Dol would have definitely been working away on post-combat during the travel because he's not got much else. He'll stock. I'm sorry, Ben, but it's that or sink. What do you want?
No,
we have got old shitty wood.
We had wood.
Josiah's,
okay, then we'll take it from that wood.
Josiah's more than happy. He's kind of relieved, like a little bit of this fucking wood's gone. Like he's even if
We already had. Just so everyone know, we already had £200 of wood that we purchased.
Okay, then
from Ivory
take
Sands
it from
Dock.
that then, Rose, not the Crimson Blossom.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Done.
Ben, you
Would
did this.
sell it.
You did this.
Just bored every ship. He here to kill us. No, do you want some wood?
Sorry, guys. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
You want to know
otherwise
how
we
I
would have
got
lost
these
track.
splinters, kid? From wood. You want some?
Got some crimson blossom wood right here.
Oh, this bad boy
Oh,
can fit
yeah.
so much crimson wood in it.
Wood, please.
But
So Polar's apparently been with the group now for like, I think 11, 12 days.
about 2
and,
weeks.
Yeah. It's been 2 weeks overall since we got the crew and then we travelled 2 days. So yeah, that's it. It doesn't matter. Never mind. Should we go? Let's go.
Make
Simon's
me a
Rest.
survival check. Whoever is
Oh, yes.
following the map, if it is Nivaris, you will get advantage through Keen Mind.
Yep.
Because I think that, although that's not a mechanical thing, it makes the most sense to my logic. Do you know what I
can
mean?
never lose direction then.
Yeah, if you always know which way north is, so long as you don't fail the survival check really bad, the advantage obviously it's assisting in it.
Well, that's like half to like 3/4 of navigation is just trying to find fucking north or
Yeah.
point, so.
Ah,
Oh.
I understand.
I rolled poorly. But we can't get lost. I know the direction, so we can't get lost. It just might
Just
mean
take
that I might
time.
just, yeah, it'll take time.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever led the party in an expedition to the islands before, so
It takes me a while. Yeah, because
Obvi-
key in mind. Sorry.
that's all right. But the going is slow because I think you're trying to be overly cautious and make sure that you don't hock it up, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Making your way and trying to get an idea. You keep heading.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was just gonna say, basically, key mind. I just always know which way is north.
Yeah.
So
Which
I
is
know
why
we've got to
I
go
gave you
north.
advantage because you have the map, and so long as you always know which way the map should orientate and stuff, you should be okay. But the traveling is slow. Although the map, the islands are a little smaller than the actual map suggests, but that's just because if I made them any smaller, they would be extremely difficult.
You're heading here.
They would be, yeah, we're heading to that one.
Yeah.
And traveling for a few hours now. You got here in the afternoon. You would know it to be 2:33 that you got there. And you start
Perfect.
heading. Hour goes by. 2 hours. And you notice that the island, while is extremely small and obviously uninhabited by humankind, is relatively lush with greenery, and it's got its own ecosystem. It contains mostly small animals and things like this, but it's quite quaint. It's calm, pretty damn calm actually, as you keep heading your way deeper and deeper. You see small.
Are we keeping an eye out?
No, no
I
one said
know
they
I'm
were.
focused on. Yeah, can someone keep an eye out, please?
Yeah, just
Okay.
silent.
I mean, if I have to say it as Novara, I will do. She will be like, I have to pay attention to this. Can someone just make sure that we are not about to be pounced upon?
Yeah, I'll make sure we're not killed.
Thank you. Sorry, Danny. I
No, it's
caught
fine.
it.
No, wait.
Oh, it's gonna be one of them nights.
Oh, okay. You
Two low rolls.
hear the distant shrieks of various different unknown species. You sometimes will step on a branch, cause a snap, and then you'll hear the panicked flutter of birds as they fly away. There is no large animals or signs of large animals that you see, but you definitely see the signs of smaller creatures, lizards, insects, smaller mammals, birds, as you make your way. As Nivara, you're getting closer and closer to where you believe you should be. You will eventually see, as some of the trees, like there are some breaks in the canopy. It's not super thick and dense jungle, but it's slightly compact. And you can see through the canopy in small sections. You'll actually eventually see something sticking out that gathers your attention first, Nivara, but then everyone else's who's actually trying to look. You will see something that doesn't fit the surrounding area. You will see a stone pillar that looks like, I forget which one it is, but stalactite or mite, whichever one's from ground up.
Might.
It mites up, tights down. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you'll see what looks like a stalagmite sticking from the ground, but you can see it above the tree lines, large and thin, and it just catches your attention because so far all you've seen is natural. And while obviously stalagmites are natural, this one looks a bit too large and a bit too uniform in shape.
So it doesn't look like bone or teeth.
Don't know. You'd have to get closer to find out.
Cool. I'm gonna summon Kavane,
Okay.
and I'm gonna get him to go up and have a look, and I'm gonna grab on whoever's closest to me's shoulder, and go blind
Okay.
and deaf.
You just kind of all stop and take a moment, and Kavane like darts from brush to brush, tree to tree, heading towards this pillar. Looks good. Sorry, my mum was showing me something. Yeah, looks good.
Does look good.
It does look very good,
Are
actually.
these pictures? Oh,
It's a picture of a flag that we're having made for the Blood Bowl League for the game club when we go to tournaments.
Mm.
Yeah. And Kavane will eventually come across a large stone stalagmite that looks to be carved into the shape of like a spire, an obelisk, or some can think of that shape. In front of it, there is a large platform made of stone, standing around 4.5 feet tall. It's flat on top.
flat on top. But it's about 4.5 feet and it's flat on top.
He can't see.
Cool,
He can't see the top of it because he's on the floor. He's tiny.
Novara will say this, so she will be like, "It's about 4 feet tall. I can't tell because of."
But that's the
The
pillar
angle
in
of
front
it?
of it. The actual obelisk, spire, stalagmite is probably 60, 70 foot tall in the air. Its base is around 6 by 6, but obviously it tapers as it goes higher for stability. At its peak, it's probably no bigger than the size of a clenched fist.
So yeah, she will be like, "This small. There is a larger obelisk behind. I think we might need to get a little closer."
Yeah. I think we just head there, surely.
Checking for traps.
Oh yeah.
just in case.
The
I
entire
will
way there,
de-summon Trevane.
How far away are we?
probably 100 or so feet.
Get to about, 10 feet?
Okay.
Yeah.
Not looking then.
Make an investigation check for me then, buddy. Oh, pal.
Maybe.
Oh.
Fuck.
You are confident you do not perceive any traps during your first check.
Cool.
As you all approach closer and closer, heading in the southwestern direction from the ship, continuing forward and forward and forward again, you will eventually come across the spire obelisk, again, however you wish to describe it, and the altar. Not the platform, it's very clearly an altar. Now you guys can all see. In front, made of stone, about 4.5 foot tall, rectangular in shape, with a spike protruding from it. The spike seems to be in the upper left portion of the altar.
Josiah's going to like sit down next to it, post up, and just go and watch, and be like, "I'll leave you scholars to deal with this."
Can I have a look
Well,
at the stone? Oh, sorry.
We thought the map has to go somewhere, so would the spike fit through the hole in the map?
You kind of like put it near, like put the page near it, just to kind of like measure. Yeah, the spike looks like it is in the exact same position as where the hole is on the map. The spike stands about 5 or 6 inches tall, maybe.
Yeah. Place it on. I haven't got them. I'm saying this. I'm not doing it because I assume Novara's got
Oh,
the
yeah.
maps.
Oh yeah, I'll pop it. I'll do what Paula suggests.
Okay, you position the map over the spike and just gently lower it down. When the map is placed on the stone altar, a quick, small, bright flash happens, and you watch as the soft pages of the map are quickly petrified into stone and fuse with the altar. And it kind of tickles in the back of your mind, which is reason why the back of the map felt
With stone.
like shale and stone. The spike that was protruding through the page, the tip glows with a faint blue light. Just like half a candle light's worth. And then you watch as just a beam of light travels up the corners of the spire, going to the top 60 or so foot, and a bright, burning blue flame appears that quickly dies down into this bright, iridescent blue glow at the top of the spire.
Are we done here then? Are we going to the next one? Is it of these 3 maps? Does any of them look more prominent? He's asking 2 nerds.
I would assume sit middle, maybe. But looking at it, because it's the time of day,
Yeah.
has anything changed in the surroundings? Like, did we hear anything move? Does it seem like the shadow from the obelisk is in the weird
Perception
location?
check.
Yeah, I'm looking for door. That's what I was going to look for.
That's a bit better. There we go.
You
I gave
don't,
him a stern telling off.
you don't
Sorry.
perceive anything in the immediate area. You don't hear like any like stone grinding. You didn't hear like any latches, any other noises outside of obviously conversation between you guys, the nature around you guys, and the more activation-y sounds that were protruding from the stone, the altar, when the map was placed. The spire is currently, the tip of the main spire that's 60 foot tall is just glowing with a blue light. The map that you placed has been petrified, and you kind of like feel it, it's fused with the stone.
Looking at the other 2 maps where I can see the locations, could I assume that there might be a point in the middle, maybe, like at the center where the three interlock. How about we go and look at the second one? Actually,
Make either an Arcana, Survival, or History check.
He probably fucking told us, didn't he?
I'm gonna go for history. Oh, that's a 19. I can also recall everything that I've heard in the last month, if that helps at all.
Looking at the position of the three, the one thing that you do notice is that the three portions on the map create, if you draw them together, makes a triangle shape over the three islands that roughly its center, if I just put a dot in yellow, is to be about there. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
It's about the only thing you can pick up.
Yeah.
We'd probably have to activate the other two,
Right. Yeah.
to then open up.
So, if you're pointing to that yellow thing there, I suggest we go the Northern Island second. Then we're closer. Then we're on the middle island to get the
I
big
see.
T1.
How will we get into the North Island?
We have a boat.
Yeah. That.
Okay, we go back to the boat then.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go back to the
Swim
boat
if
then.
you want.
I just meant we told them we start walking back, and I was like, but I thought we were coming back in 3. I did not think this.
If we don't come back in 3 days, they're allowed to bugger off.
He did say it's a small island.
Mm-hmm. We trot back.
Well, I just wanted to remind, these 3 islands specifically are smaller than the map suggests. The reason why they're as big as they are is because if I did them any smaller, Incarnate struggled to make them properly how I wanted them.
Defined. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the tools I had. If I made them any smaller, they'd just look little dots, and that was dumb.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're about 10 to 15 miles across, so each island would probably fit in one square, maybe overspill a little bit. So they're about right. They're not much. They're not terribly smaller. And where you bear in mind, a party on foot in a 12-hour day can travel upwards to 24 miles. Yeah, it makes fair that to the center of the island is about 2-3 hours. It works out about right. About. But obviously, like with the Northern Island, where it's more slightly to the coast, you'll have a quicker time. But it is currently about 4:32 and 15 seconds for Nivara.
Thank you.
Take another 2.5 hours, give or take, but it did take you exactly 2 hours and 13 minutes to get here from the boat for Nivara.
So as the boat sails round, we can sleep and maybe get there ready for the morning, and
Maybe,
then set off.
because it'll be coming 7 o'clock, so it'll be sundown by the time you'll get back to the boat, and then obviously you can travel up to the Northern Island, more up, either go during the night or wait till morning. That is up to you guys.
Looking at the island, is the thing we lit up, is that visible at all?
Well, it was noticed, like, as you was able to look through breaks in the canopy. When you eventually get back to the boat, if you go up into the crow's nest, yes, you see it. It's bright. It's tall. It's twice the height of the trees surrounding it, and the spire that kicks out, it's producing that much light. Yeah, you see it quite easily.
Oh, right. So I come back down from the crow's nest. We probably want to do this as quickly as possible then.
Oh, they can focus it. Right, okay.
Yeah.
We got to book it then. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. We've lit a lighthouse.
Cool. Nap if you can as we travel. Like, literally, let's get the time that we've got and just break it in our sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I do not need.
Go.
Yeah.
Capitan, everyone, please get the ship in position. We are going to the Northern Island.
Yeah, we're literally going to go to
West
there
Coast, West Coast.
Northwest. Get us on that lip there.
Northwest Coast, Northwest Coast.
I am just like, go. Like, fucking, fuck it.
It'll take time.
Because then we can come round and get
You
there.
got back to the ship at 6:54 with sailing. Oh, sorry, Rose. And 13 seconds, okay?
You don't have to give me the 13 seconds.
Oh, I fucking
Just
do.
the time.
Oh, no, I do. You've got keen mind, and trust me, I'm gonna make you pay.
Are you going to make me pay? It
Sounds like a
helps
lot of
us
work
all.
for you, really.
I'm just making seconds up. It doesn't matter to me. It just annoys her. That's all I needed to do. But you'll eventually, like, start sailing for the Northern Island, which is easy enough to traverse. It'll take a few hours and going into the dead of night. You will reach the northwest coast by 12:23. It is past midnight. It is deep into
During
the night.
that time
and
we've
at night,
travelled.
at night, you see especially the spire
Oh God.
because it is dark. It like a lighthouse. Like it glows. It's visible. Like bearing in mind, you're probably now about 15, no, probably like 20 to 25 mile away. You can see it
It's
pretty
still
clearly.
bright.
You can't see the spire, but you see the light it's producing.
Cool. As we are travelling, I am going to try and get people to sleep. Basically, she's trying to stave off exhaustion, not knowing that that's the thing. But you know what I mean? She's like,
Yeah.
sleep
Yeah.
when you can. This is going to be a long
I
journey.
think it's like sleeping shifts.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is like, so for who takes, so when you get back to the boat at 6, I imagine you start doing that immediately. Who goes to sleep that would then be waking up as the ship arrives on the Northern Island?
Navarra only needs 4 hours, so she will take the first 2 hours and then we'll sleep the remainder because then she can be fully rested, ready
Yeah.
for 12. Because, well, she's not sleeping, she's trancing, but
I know.
I can do that. There's no issue.
Sleep,
Yeah.
asterisks, yeah. Eventually you'll
Yeah,
make your way
I'll
onto the
sleep.
Northern Island. Montrose asks, are we mooring up properly or are we just keeping the ship in a permanent motion if we're trying to be
Hang.
as quick as we can?
Hang, I
Yeah,
think.
rather than like get the ropes in, like tie it up properly, like before.
Or maybe just use one or two. Like just.
One just to hold it from drifting off.
Floating off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though to be fair, they do have the ability to come back to us, so maybe we need to do a quick exit, but how long? Could I estimate how long it is away from, based on how long it took us to get to the last location?
This one's
Where it is
this
in
one's
the-
closer to the shore. This one will probably take about 40 minutes to an hour, whereas the other one took about 2.
So we could be back in 2 hours.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
we run,
this-
they
'cause
they
this
can
one, if you
have
look-
enough time.
The one on the Southern Island was relatively as central could be, like in terms of maximum distance from the shore, whereas this one looks a lot closer to the shoreline.
Oh, what if then, Captain, if as we are getting closer, I will start messaging and then they start getting us ready to go. I'll be about 100 feet away and then I
Are
can
all
start.
of you leaving the ship? As in
Yes.
the players, not a crew
Yeah.
stays,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
double checking
Yeah,
because
so
I know
I
you
will-
wanted to start sleeping in shifts. Are some staying to sleep? Is what I'm asking.
We'll leave Dax and who's it on board. There we go. Easy now. They're not here.
Okay, that's fine.
No, they can come with us because I assume all we're going to do is set off the beacon and get back. But
Make a survival check with advantage.
come on. I'm telling you off. Behave, dice. Double check with advantage.
As we wait.
10. I
10.
swear to God.
Given it's night, the difficulty is increased. But Keen Mind does offset some, and with the map obviously helps. It takes longer. Rather than taking the 45 minutes to an hour that you thought, you take about an hour and a half to maybe an hour and 3/4. You get to the spire at 1:53 and 24 seconds.
Rose, the fact he's being so prompt with the time is making me concerned. I hope you're happy.
Good. Cool, let's light it up. Let's do the same again. We
You take
repeat.
the appropriate page, the one that matches here. You place it over the spike. It exact same process. It petrifies. It fuses. A small light appears on the spike on the pedestal, and then the lights carry up through the corners, and then small burst of blue fire into the blue light. And what you do notice that is different is a bolt of blue light streaks across the sky going southward, leaving a permanent traceable line in the air, leaving this permeating glow over the northern and southern island and the ocean in between.
Yep.
Making it
I'm not
glow
gonna
even
lie.
more intense.
Can we run back to the ship? Can we just
Yeah.
book it? Like,
With
This is really
I'm not
cool.
gonna make survival reroll, but essentially, if you're specifically sprinting, it will take. Now you've got a better idea of the path. It will take about an hour to get back, rather than the hour and a half, hour and 3/4. You get back to the ship at
Nightfire does the
2:30.
message as well.
Yeah, I'm doing the messages to get them to
Yeah,
get
so as
ready
they're
to
like
go.
kind of like just doing the ship, doing donuts with the ship, they get it marked up by the shore for you guys to jump on board. You get back to the ship at 2:30 and 43 seconds.
13:43 seconds.
Right,
Cool.
onto middle.
I suppose
Let's
I
go.
need to sleep for however long it takes to get us there.
Yeah.
Waiting when we get there.
We're going to here, this side here, I think is best.
On the northern
See where I'm
side, yeah.
pinging?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's fine.
In
so,
the
yeah,
bay.
more like, yeah, this little, like,
Well-
crease there. Cool.
Oh, I've
Traveling.
gone.
What?
No?
Rose?
Hello?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Oh, it went really roboty. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Traveling back down on the western side, heading to the southern side of the northern island, aiming for the center, north portion of the central island. It's going to take about 2 hours to get from there to there. So the southern part, and then another 2 hours to get there. So it's going to take 4 hours in total, because it took you 6 to get from the southern to the northern. It's taking you about 4 hours. You get to the place at 6:24.
6:24. Cool. Everyone's been sleeping and that kind of stuff as well, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Montrose will
Let's
ask.
go.
Montrose will ask the group. Capitan Crow, are we mowing or are we doing like we did before?
You do the circles again. We're going to be heading west.
All right, we'll do the circles. Yes.
Right, everyone fucking let's go.
Everyone jumps from the ship, footfall for sand, and pushes deep into the oceans of the jungle once more. This island, you notice, is not as dense in jungle compared to the northern southern islands, but it's still got plenty of cover. But there's a lot more open, meadowy, beachy, like sandy patches. It's not like grass, it's more like sandy and rocky terrain, but it's got patches of like relatively coverful jungle. Ivara, survival check with
Yeah.
advantage.
Oh, there we go. 19.
Making it to the spire actually a little quicker than you anticipated. You get to the spire, and bearing in mind now, given the time, sunrise is starting, is well into its phases now. You get to the spire within about 30 minutes or so. The time is 6:54.
6:53. Okay.
4.
6:54. So it took
God
31 minutes.
Yes. You predicted about the same time as what you thought for the Northern Island, because it looks to be about the same, but with a good survival check, you were able to make good time and get there a little quicker.
Cool.
So you've essentially
got the thing,
made up a
everything.
portion of the time that you lost on the Northern Island. You
Yeah.
place down the map, exact same features, except when the spire explodes with its flames and then glows blue, 2 streaks of light. One going northwest, one going southwest, creating 2 lines to the northern and the southern island. You see a radial pulse of energy at the height of the spire in a circular formation just echo 2 or 3 rings of light from the spire, and then you see the reverberations of those same light waves coming from the other spires in the direction of this spire. And you see the strings of light bend slightly, almost as if, like, imagine that triangle and then imagine putting your finger in the middle of each line and pulling it towards the center, but all three are simultaneously doing it. And as all three lines touch, a cascade of light drops, and all of the light and energy from the spires disappears in one single swoop into this large beacon and cascade of light going straight down into what roughly looks to be the center of the triangle.
Right. Fucking book it back.
Run.
Yeah, fucking
How
go.
exciting!
The question
This
is,
is so much fun.
are you running to the boat, or are
Yes.
you running to the light?
Boat.
Boat.
How long will it take us? Can I estimate based on
about
the
the
map?
same time that whatever it takes you to get there, knock a tiny bit off. So if it took you 30 minutes, but because you got there quicker, it's going to be about 30 minutes again. You're going to get back to the boat at 7:16. 7:16.
Would it be quicker if they just meet us there? No, that's a hell of a no.
No, we'd have
It's
trouble.
gonna
Let's
take-
go.
Yeah, let's boats, go.
Getting to the boat,
We'll
Montrose
walk it
will
back.
position the boat and start tracing the coastline. Obviously, you, Nivara, has the keen mind feat, so you remember quite vividly where the light roughly was, because you remember things up to a month. And you're able to go down the coastline to about where you think is right. And with the keen mind, you don't need to roll checks because you know. And you're able to get Montrose to pull up as close as you can on the shoreline there. And basically, you see that tree that's just above the yellow dot. You're about there.
Right.
Let's go.
Let's go. Ivara, lead the way again.
Is it circles again, or are you getting them to more?
Circles.
Cool.
Why are we circles? Okay, never mind. Let's go.
Well, there could be people fucking heading here. Well, let me put it this way: if we've got shitloads to move, we can. Well, let's figure out the circles. Let's go.
You are so paranoid. Why so paranoid?
Why so serious?
Look,
Think of this adventure. Isn't this magical and mysterious?
But paranoia keeps you alive, and this island south of here. It's fucking Jacob's Island, and we've had a fucking huge light pillar. Let's just fucking go.
Oh, sometimes it is like echoing just all the way throughout life and time. Fascinating. Let's go.
Heading
Let's go, 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 go,
to
go.
where you believe and remember the light to be. Can you make one more survival? No advantage. Anyone can make this. Because you don't have a map to go off, you're going off pure memory. So just one
Probably going to
survival.
be the better, isn't she?
Would I get advantage from
Someone helping you,
that
yes.
team mine?
I'll assist.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we got Barnet as well? Is he doing it?
Yep. Hold on.
Because I got an 11.
Takes a little bit.
Oh,
Go on, what?
is no one else doing it? Like,
Oh, I would do it as well, but I thought.
Barney,
Oh,
were you
no.
stealthing?
Oh my god,
Oh,
he's going to
sorry.
get the treasure.
Liam?
Sorry,
I
didn't
assume you
kick
meant
that then.
survival.
Yeah, hold on, let me just
Yeah,
roll
yeah.
again. 12.
Okay. Okay. It takes time. But with the keen mind and constantly, you're trying to remember maybe like a couple of, maybe like unique, like peaks of like rocks and like trees that you're trying to remember, Nivara, and try and help guide the party. You
Yeah.
get to where you believe the light source was. Takes about an hour. You get there at 7:23 a.m. You know.
really? We've gone back in time.
No. Oh no, it should be 8:23. Sorry, not 7:23. No, I remember. Yeah, no, because you. Yep. No, my bad. Thank you. No,
No,
good
sorry,
spot,
Dolly.
good
That
spot.
was me being.
Time wizard.
It was a test. It was totally a test, wasn't it? Just to see that I was on the ball and keeping track.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You won. Congrats. At 8:23, you get to where you believe you should be. The reason why you believe this is the correct place is because you see the embers of a small bushfire. And in the center of where the charred remains of underbrush and growth were, you see a crystal that glows with a very similar blue. Embedded into some stone as part of a stone... I forget the exact description, but you know the Greek buildings where you got them circular pillars and then you've got like that triangular roof topping?
Mm-hmm.
Like think
Like a
back to,
temple.
yeah, think like Back to the Future 1, you know, the clock tower. The frontage of that. And you can see 4 stone pillars and a large stone face where the crystal is inset and is lit. Underneath, you can see a large stone archway that is currently open and depthy. It is lit inside, and you can see small amounts of light flickering as if from torchlight.
Ooh. Exciting. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry. Need to be.
We'll wait a moment to see what the nerds do. But for the moment, how are you all doing, guys? Are you all okay? How's chat? How's the players that have not decided to ditch me? Good talk, Matt. Fuck you. And you, Liam. Fuck you too. But when they return, we'll see what you decide to do. I don't understand.
I'm tired.
That's no excuse.
Great content here with the noises.
Thank you, Liam.
Not all of them were me. Some of them were Matt.
Okay,
I can't take
Yep.
all the credit here.
fair enough. It's just, it's normally you. That's why I don't. But you, okay.
Okay, now.
Oh.
Here comes the large pen.
Hello.
There we go. Welcome back. Rose ran away just as the climax.
Oh. Oh dear. Well, what happened? Because I had to. Food appeared.
Rose, leading the charge, came across the site and signs of a not long concluded small bushfire. And the reason why she believes it to be the correct place is because at the center of this bushfire, where a lot of undergrowth and greenery has been burnt away, is a crystal that glows with the same blue light that has been emanating from the spires. It is set in stone as part of the front of an ornate but extremely weathered temple entrance with 4 circular pillars and a roof portion on top that is set into the earth. The gem is set atop. Underneath there is a stone archway that is currently open and beckoning. It seems to descend deep, and inside you can see torchlight flickering. And as I finished saying that, Rose disappeared.
Well, shall we press in? And wait, and I'm sure that's what Rose would want us to do.
Yeah. Let's
Um,
press.
Yeah.
Bowler, can you check for traps? This is probably a good trap checking time. Because Matt gone as well?
Matt?
Matters. Matt played some sounds and just left us.
Matthew.
And the impression of Matt, Milan. Yes.
Have they
That does
just
sound like
done the
Matt, that's all.
got us here and they're fucked off?
Yeah, they
Like,
literally
you can-
have.
Yeah.
I don't hear Matt
Oh,
laughing.
are they here, Matt?
I'm back, sorry.
Wee, wang
Everyone
on.
laughed like.
So, you are asked to check for traps. Hole. Do
Yep.
you oblige?
Why not? Shit. Do investigation instead.
No. Perception is looking for traps. Investigation is like it's the
It's touchy-feely, yeah.
touch. Yeah. The difference between perception and investigation is perception is look, hear, and smell. Investigation is hands-on, moving things and like touching and feeling. When you're
Yeah.
checking for traps, you really don't want to be going with a hands-on approach.
Touching them.
No. You
I
start
mean,
making
could
your
try
way
touching
into the
them.
stone archway, standing probably 20 foot tall or so and about 15 or so foot wide. It does get narrower as you get deeper and deeper in. You probably travel for about 20-30 foot, the light behind you disappearing, but being replaced by flickering flames, torches in sconces on the walls, lit, welcoming you. Eventually, the hallways get narrower and narrower until you're about 10 foot by 10 foot in a square hallway that pushes forward. Traveling another 10-20 feet, you eventually see light bright in the next chamber as the rooms open up around you. And you see a large chamber that looks like once upon a time, if it wasn't weathered and worn, used to be some ceremonial welcoming chamber, depicted with large amounts of statuettes, busts, and art covering the walls. The room is well lit thanks to many well-placed torches. The art on the walls seem to depict a snake with wings, large fangs and open mouth, and being worshipped like a god by hundreds of people, hands and knees, heads down in prayer, or acknowledgement, or worship, or submission. It's hard to tell. The statuettes and the busts depict mostly humanoid shapes, with large reptilian features, scales, slit eyes, and fangs. What do you do?
More your auntie shit then.
Potentially.
And that's what Josiah says out loud.
Oh, I did not realise I didn't mute it. Sorry.
Welcome, Rack.
Didn't hear anything. Okay. What's going on?
Right. You have all eventually entered the temple. The ruins, the cavern, however you wish to describe it. The large archway made way for smaller and smaller passageways, still well lit. You have just entered a large, weather-worn, but still understandably functional, ceremonial chamber. Looks like to be welcoming for guests. It is filled with statuettes and busts of mostly humanoid figures that have a lot of reptilian features, scales, fangs, slit eyes, and open agape mouths. There is large pieces of artwork on the walls that mostly depict a large serpent creature with extremely long fangs and open agape maw and wings, and hundreds of humanoids in either prayer, submission, worship, respect, acknowledgement, hands and knees and heads down in front on the floor. The room is imperfectly lit, with torches floor to ceiling in all aspects where needed.
Navarro will go to Josiah and just be like, we need to make sure we do not do the same that we did in the other temple.
Aye. I've got to move slowly.
And exercise some control.
Right.
Yes.
You're probably the best to investigate this room. I'll watch your back.
Yep, I will start looking for more detail.
Investigation check.
Someone having a bit of trouble there?
Yeah, Liam.
Yes,
I was back.
come on, go very roboty key. They'll have to leave and come back. But I think
What?
it's...
Make a religion check or a history check. DC differs.
I'm gonna go for religion because they're the same, so why not? 22!
You recognize the iconography to be not just identical, but very, very similar to what you saw in the other temple when you were doing the job for the Baroness. And you remember that you believed the name to be Zahir, but because of translation, you remembered it was corrected to Sahir. So, looking at the artwork on the walls, you recognize this to be more worship and depictions to the snake god Sahir. As you're looking around and you're seeing a lot of it's repeated, but in different iconography and formats, but it's a lot of worship to the same creature. Large serpent, fangs, wings. The one thing you do notice is in the on the back wall from where you walked in, on the left side, you notice that there is a seam in the shape of an arched doorway. And you also notice a slightly indented piece of stone to the right of it, about waist height. In the shape of a square that's probably 1 by 1 foot.
Can I see if there's any sort of runes or any magical trap around it?
You can make an Arcana check.
Do you want an assist?
Yeah, you can go for it, because I rolled 8.
Arcana.
The mechanism, the door, the wall, doesn't seem to hold any archaic function or feature.
I spot any non-archaic?
You can make an investigation check.
We do set one. Okay.
With the exception of the 1 by 1 square and the outline of the doorway, you do not notice anything else out of hand.
Cool. I will
Good.
press it in.
You press and jolts back about 2-3 inches in like a stiff giving way. And you notice that the outline on the door shifts as the outline of the door just shifts back like about half an inch into its setting. You kind of put a hand on it and it's on a heavy hinge, but it does push open to the side. Like so, the right side pushes inwards going to the left side of the wall as a small door has been discovered at the back wall. As you open it and the door hits the stone, a row of torches on sconces once more, just 1 by 1, just light up going down the hallway, and you can see it only travels about 10 foot into another room that opens up behind.
Cool.
Cool.
Ladies first, Captain. And I just start walking through.
I'll follow with a little shrug.
Next room is hexagonal in shape. As you enter on the bottom left side, like imagine if you were looking at the room, you enter in the bottom left side and you can see in the center of the room, as the room begins to light up, you see a corpse, well preserved, on the floor. And you can see about 3 or 4 large sets of alchemical supplies and equipment. Bottles, cauldrons, cooking pots, burners, shelves upon shelves of ingredients, jars of powders, herbs that some have long since rotted away and gone bad, liquids. On the tables, vials and vials of corked and fully intact vials of liquid, some half-used, many empty.
Does any of them look like white resin?
Make a perception check.
That'd be a 23 with a natural 20.
Yeah. Some of the full and intact ones, some look red in nature. Some look to have like a yellow hue to them. Some are, if I can just double check the description. Some look to be like a dark brown stroke black. And another looks to be an amber with what looks like a spider inside. Final one is a cloudy green smell. A color. I don't know why I said that.
Do they look like poisons of some sort?
Anything can look like poison. Or anything can be poisoned.
Does it have a big skull on it? Then it's probably bad.
No, they're all clear glass bottles.
That's what it says out loud.
I suggest we leave these alone.
Just for clarification, you see 2 red potions, 1 yellow, 1 greyish brown, 1 that is amber with a spider in it, and 3 green.
Are there any notes anywhere or anything that explains what they were doing?
On the shelves, you do spot a few old leather-bound books. They are written in... What languages do you know again?
I know. Bear with me.
Don't you have comprehension?
Abyssal. Yeah, I could do that in a minute though. It'll just take me a little while. Abyssal, Ancient Tiaran, Common, Elvish, and Giant.
It's in a language that you don't immediately know, but if you wish to make a history check, you may try to discern what language it might be.
If I can have 10 minutes, I can read it.
Well, I'm just
So
thinking
I
this
will
is just
begin.
you identifying, oh, it's this language.
So that was history, was that?
Yes.
Okay. Dirty 20.
It looks like it's in Draconic script.
Yeah, I will begin ritual casting comprehend languages.
Whilst she's doing that, can I check the corpse?
Yeah. As you all push into the room one by one, you can see that this looks like some large underground laboratory of some kind. Something you'd expect like a mad scientist or an alchemical wizard to have. Some crazed maniac that performs these experiments. You can see in the center of the room a corpse. Humanoid in shape, but you notice around the eyes and the fingers scales and large claw-like fingernails. These bloodshot, long-dead snake eyes and fangs that just tickle past the bottom lip. In the left arm, you notice, impaled into the forearm from the elbow to the wrist, 3 syringes that are currently empty.
Okay. Anything in pockets? Proper loot?
Yeah, you pat down the pockets and just make a quick investigation check for me. You find a small bottle of ink and a quill. You also find a small leather wrapped pouch that contains a set of scalpels and small knives and blades. That's slightly indicative of what you may find in a medical kit. You also find long smashed shards of glass, and you can see in the fabric that they've been stained with like a yellow tone where the glass was. So obviously something was there but maybe broke on fall or got broken after death or some mixture of truth.
Right.
Other than that, they don't seem to have much on them.
Did they, while I'm looking for like puncture holes for, did he inject himself?
Well, the syringes are still in the arm.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Like, imagine if you pick up your left arm and you look elbow to wrist, 3 evenly spaced on the inside of the forearm. Heavy, large syringes, the old-fashioned ones, the big fucking nasty ones, not what you get modern day. These are big and thick. The actual point of the syringe is probably about 1 to 2 centimeters diameter. These are huge.
Yeah,
Plunges have
still
all
stuck
been
in the
pushed
bottle.
down. Yeah. Made of metal. They are, all 3 of them are in the bodies, in the arm, impaled, like stuck in.
Right.
All of the plunges have been pushed down so they contain no liquid.
I convey that to the room.
Yeah. With the exception of what you found in the pockets, other descriptors are very overt. But if you wish to take the oil, the ink and quill, or the scalpel knife set, you may.
I'll leave it.
Okay.
The yellow stains on the glass might be a clue. Because that might be what he was injecting himself with.
Possible. Eventually, if no one else wishes to look or investigate into anything, Nivara, and feel free to cut me off, guys, if you do wish. Nivara, eventually the comprehend languages will pop as you ritually cast, spending 10 minutes doing so.
Mm-hmm.
You will eventually be able to discern the texts in front of you as experimental note-taking and journals. This is a journal that is written by a person known as Lasha. Lasha. And they seem to be experimenting with trying to mix already known alchemical concoctions and potions into a serum that would be able to take multiple effects and put them into a single item to basically temporarily make super soldiers.
What?
Taking mixtures of health potions, potions of speed, potions of water breathing, potions of resistances, and putting them all into a single alchemical serum. So there is no posed risk of drinking multiple alchemical potions in one go by putting them all naturally together. The notes convey the many, many failed attempts and vicious reactions of mixing certain potions together. The later notes do show progress, where potions are slightly unstable, but are being able to be mixed into a single container. The last entry dictates how they was able to make 3 individual serums that they was able to make from 5 potions. They were intending on testing it on themselves, and that is the last entry that was made.
So Navarro will explain to the group and go, it is, they are experimentation notes. They were trying to make a potion of some sort for multiple different potions to try and, well, for lack of a better phrase, make a super soldier. I believe they apparently made 3 potions out of 5. And they were going to test them on themselves. Their name is Lesha. Can I walk over to the body
Yeah.
that Polar has been investigating? Can I have a look at its clothes? Can I guess based on what it's wearing, like the time period it might be from?
Ooh, good shout. Make a history check.
Just trying to place where it might have happened, if it's recent or. That'd be a 21.
You're unable to like dial it into like the exact year, but
Decade.
you could probably nail it into about the 16th century, so the 1500 PK maybe.
Are we all when?
3400 PK. You're in the 35th century.
Yes, the exact date I can find.
Yeah, it's 34 70 something, I believe, PK, the current year. This looks to be about the 1500s, maybe.
So this is like 1500 years.
We are currently in.
About 1700 years ago, yeah.
We are in 3722 for Shock Jade. 3722.
Okay, so it's even more then.
Yeah. Sorry, Danny. I didn't.
That's fine. No, it's fine. I'd rather it be correct.
Yeah, I have every time that every campaign was done when. Look.
So we're
Time
talking about
Wizard.
2,000 years old. Okay.
About that, yeah.
Cool.
That's when the last.
looking-
That's when the last entries you would probably guess based off clothing, because the entries aren't dated. It's just a journal of success and failures.
Can I determine how the creature died? You said it was well preserved despite being over 2,000 years old. Because we're able to determine its facial features and stuff like that. Can I guess? Does it look like
medicine
it was from
check.
the needles? Yeah. I think a 6. Would that be enough?
You wouldn't have a clue.
No.
It doesn't seem to be. There's no overt wounds. They're not decapitated. They've not got like throat slit. They've not got puncture wounds, laceration marks. No broken limbs. Their body looks intact. The only thing visibly, externally, that you can see is the 3 syringes in the arm. Other than that, the body looks to be in impeccable condition from the outside.
And there's no like blood or like flesh beneath fingernails. It doesn't look like they were struggling. Is what I'm getting at.
No.
Okay.
And just for the sake of, the body looks like it's been embalmed, like as in that type of preservature. It's extremely well. For 2,000 years, you would expect skeletal. Like there shouldn't be any flesh
Or
left.
dust, yeah.
Yeah, because like some of the jars that probably once contained herbs are dust and ash in the jars, in the vials. The liquids are there, but yeah, to condition, touch and go. No, this body looks like it's been preserved correctly by like an undertaker with the use of the correct chemicals and the right composition, and he's probably only a few months old. But logic would dictate that this has to be over 2,000 years old, probably 2,200 or so. Assuming everything's correct.
Based on the notes and the fact that it does not look like there was a struggle, I can only assume that their final experiment is what killed them.
Hmm.
Just
So-
has anyone touched the body yet?
Polar has.
Right, okay.
I don't think, not for too long, they're mostly like pilfering pockets, but they probably would have come into contact with skin.
Patted down.
Yeah.
They would have disturbed anything if there was anything
Yes.
there, I would assume.
Yeah.
Shall we continue on?
Yeah.
I will pocket the notebooks, by the way, Danny, for later.
There's a lot of them. They won't all fit in your bag.
I will pocket the last notebook,
Okay.
the one that seems to be more about the experimental notes.
Are we taking these potions, or are we leaving them?
Maybe?
There are, just to remind you, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 potions that are corked and not like partially drank or drained or gone. There is 8.
There does seem to be. Oh, sorry, Danny, carry on.
No, that's it. There is 8.
There seems to be notes on the fact that these might be health potions or speed potions, but I would still suggest we maybe get them identified by an actual magic individual who has
Oh.
that available.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna have a sip on the way back. I think we just, yeah.
Oh no, I am not saying it just for you.
I mean, if you
Very
want to
good.
write like sussy potions or something, I can give you the colors again.
No, it's all right, Danny. We can pick them up outside a session if that's all right with you. So
I've
we
got
can
them.
get it sorted.
Two,
You've got
two
a
red, one brown. I've got a list anyway.
Okay, yeah, so 2 red, 1 yellow, 1 brown, 1 amber with spider, 1 and 3 green.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So what do you guys do next?
Was there another doorway out?
Not that you can see.
Can I look around?
Yeah.
Investigation checks you may.
I will join in on the looking
Please do.
around.
I got a
If I
9.
can find investigation.
Okay, with a roll of Victoria 3, Ben. I see you. Liam. Barnett notices as you're all checking the rooms for different access points. You notice a very similar indentationed stone, extremely similar to what was used to get into this room, on the wall to the left. So literally, as you've walked in this room, on the very next wall, bear in mind this is a hexagonal room, the next wall on the next angle, you notice a similar 1x1 square indent and an outline of a door.
Can I go and fiddle with it, please?
You just doing like what Nivara did?
I was trying to copy what you did, yeah.
And with a small give, it pushes in, and the door moves slightly, and you're able to, similarly, exactly as before, push it open. And as you do, and as the door touches the stone, lights go deep. About 20 foot or so, and then the room opens up. And you can see metallic sheen bouncing off the torchlight in the room ahead.
Can I quickly cast Mage Armor on myself? I forgot to do it when we were coming in.
Yep, that's
So as
fine.
this is happening, just gonna... As he opens the door.
Yep, give yourself a little love tap, that's fine.
Yep, just a little.
Liam, does Barnett proceed?
I will go in here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
As you start entering the next room, and you see the metallic glints of the torchlight, you notice bars, metallic bars, making cages, like what you would see in like a prison. And you can
Oh.
see cages stacked upon cages with long dead skeletal corpses inside. These cages probably measure about 3.5 to 4 foot in width and length, and about 2 foot in height. And you can see in some of them there is as many as 5 or 6 skeletons. You can tell by counting the skulls. They are dense and packed. You can see what is probably close to 30 to 40 metal cages, in which you can probably see close to 70 skeletons. Again, you can only tell by counting the skulls, because some poor souls have had the unfortunate reality of dying on top of each other, and their skeletal remains have long since intertwined with each other, making them undiscernible from each other, where the cramped conditions proved far too inhumane. You can see that there are crates on the left side of the room, and you can also see a stone table in which you can see various metallic and other barbaric implements laid upon it and near it and on the floor next to it. As all of you one by one make your way into this room and begin to see the horrors before you.
Does anyone look quite disturbed?
Is anyone extremely bothered by this scene in front of you?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
disturbing.
Not particularly. Not overly.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Barnet Nivara, okay.
Well, yeah, Nivara she's very difficult to read being Elvish, but you can see she does look like she's frowning slightly and looking a little bit on edge.
Is there a skull near me?
There's plenty.
Oh, no.
There is plenty.
I'll pick one up.
The bottom jaw just falls away, leaving just the upper portion of the skull, but you can see it's humanoid, but with no flesh. It's hard to tell what it could be. But yeah, you have it. And you can
you'll
see
look
that
through
there's nothing to it. It's just pure bone.
Yeah. He'll look at it and then look at the rest of the group and he's like, what's the skull's favourite wine?
Seriously. I don't know what's the skull's favourite wine.
One with a full body.
Mm.
And they'll like throw the skull over his shoulder and go back to looking at the table.
Ooh.
Mm.
Damn. You can see, looking at the table, that the porous stone over over probably dozens of usages, you can see that the stone has almost been stained with this red hue to it, as it's absorbed whatever was sat upon it at one point or another over however long. You can see blades, bars, braces, shackles, saw blades of various different implements, spikes, needles.
Do any of the needles look like the alchemist needles?
The ones that were in the arm of the person before. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, quite similar.
So syringes.
Mm.
A mix of
And yet
syringes and like almost like knitting needles, like if that makes visual sense. There's a mix of both.
Oh. He was some sort of doctor, he had a medical kit on him.
What sort of fucking doctor does this?
And didn't the book say they were only testing it on themselves?
I fear to avoid some confusion, they were about to test it on themselves. I know based on common knowledge of the auntie that
They're fucked up.
they were cruel and callous and did not really care for emotional means.
They were
You
extremely
said that-
racial hierarchist,
yeah, they were the top. Everyone else was not anywhere near the bottom.
I've had the phrase Nazi scientist in my head for about 20 minutes now. And it's not
Yeah.
it's not going away.
No, actually, honestly, as bad as it is, it's a very good description of like a Mengele maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that it's that level of cruel and barbarity. It's not. It is indicative of the Yuan-Ti race because it is such extreme inhumanity. But yeah, it does kind of make sense to a degree. Just
It's got
with
racial elements
the
to it, it's got coolness to it.
with the difference of he turned the syringes on himself. That's about the only difference.
Yeah.
But he would have
Thought-
tested extensively to get to that point.
Yeah.
But as
He
Nivara
thought
was
the
saying,
one
she
he
will
was
be.
making worked.
As I said, the Yuan-Ti are due to a race cannibalizing itself. They were not always Yuan-Ti, but they removed their humanity, their ability to care. So now, this is not really a big jump. I do not think, based on what we know about them, to be sacrificial from the other temple.
No,
They were trying to... It is horrific, don't get me wrong.
Oh no, they all no. It's more the fact of this. I find more scary in terms of they're doing science and shit. Like they're finding out new stuff.
Science.
Well,
Yeah, Mr. White.
extensively.
Can I look back down the hallway we've just been through?
Yeah.
And is the corpse still on the floor?
Make a perception check.
I think it worked.
Without going into the other room, you can't see the corpse from here, no?
Shit.
Oh.
Can I see where I was expecting it to be? Was it round the
No,
corner?
no, that's what I mean. You'd have to go
It's,
through the tunnel back into the other room. You can't, from where you're stood in this cage room, you can't see there. You'd have to go
quickly and
and check.
quietly,
Make a
Would
stealth
you like
check.
me-
half
you've gone.
stealth.
Make
Yeah.
a stealth check.
She's vanished. I was going to ask if she wanted me to send Cobain, but she has gone. Okay.
You stealthily go back into the other room, quickly, quietly, like a feather through a hallway. You see the corpse in the center of the room. It's there. It doesn't look like it's changed position from when it was left from your guys' investigation.
I guess I'll follow in after.
Well, if it's still
I-
there, I kind of turn around and I'm
Yeah, so
heading
as
back.
as you turn, you see Josiah, sorry, like coming to follow you as you turn and like almost bump into each other in the hallway.
Yeah, because those lot are all skeletons. He's
It's bad
not
fucking
decomposed.
juju. It's bad juju. I'm gonna cut its head off. Alright.
okay.
Okay, make an attack roll.
I'm guessing myself and Barnet following as this is happening, realizing
Yeah.
everyone's left us
Well,
alone.
kind of
Okay,
rapier ready.
you take your blade and with a swift slice, just a quick question, is your rapier magical?
No.
As your blade swings down, you kind of like, before you did, you positioned the head in a way that the neck was exposed. And you bring the blade down in one swift, vicious motion. And you watch as the skin bends and dares to break, but doesn't. Your blade
Oh,
does nothing to the corpse.
Do we know that that's magical resistance?
I would say no. I was just asking more for the mechanical aspects, but
Yeah, I won't. I won't
you
meta
notice,
and change the bone.
You notice, Josiah, that your rapier does 0 damage. It is out, it's not
yeah.
resistant. It seems to be outright immune.
so we know this. The characters know potion expense makes skin invulnerable to these normal weapons. We know that. Right, okay. Wow. Okay.
Josiah,
It seems to be one of the effects, possibly. It makes it immune for I would imagine Josiah just would either assume that it's invulnerable to all attacks or blades, like it can't be cut. Like, it's up to you how you want to lean. What would Josiah think? I'll let you have agency on that.
If he hears super soldier, he thinks they're fucking abundant, basically.
Yeah. So this the serum that he's injected has made him invincible. Made the corpse invincible.
I'm fucking. I hope it's fucking dead because I can't stab it.
I feel that maybe there will be more information in this books, but at this point I do not want to hang around, so maybe I suggest that we continue on, trying to find what we are looking for.
Agreed. That's just this. Yeah.
We are getting bad vibes because this is a bad place where many horrific crimes was committed.
Yeah, even my school joke couldn't lighten it up. Let's go.
Was that a joke?
It was a bad one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, let's just go.
She smiles at him a little bit and she's like, I am just winding you up. I know it was meant to be a joke.
So by let's go, you mean leave the entire place, like go back out?
No. Continue
we're
it
going
on.
back into the
Okay,
other chamber
I just
look
wanted
at
to
it.
clarify. 'Cause I
just
didn't,
to-
it's right, because when you say let's go, or instead of let's press, I just wanted to double check.
No, it makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, you go back into the room with the cages, the crates, the table.
Looking for another seam. Door
Also
seam.
looking for
Get to
Sim,
our
I'm
next
gonna
place.
try and pry open one of these crates.
Okay, investigation check for Josiah, and investigation check for anybody looking for secret doors. And I will say, anyone looking for doors have advantage because you technically now know what the mechanism looked like, because now you've seen it twice. You would have an idea of what to look for, if that makes sense.
26
And
with a natural 20.
Josiah, you go over to the crates and you notice that they're wooden crates and they're sealed with like these wooden doweled spikes. Like instead of using metal nails, they're done with like wooden nails almost. And it's extremely difficult to pry. And you're having it's not that you can't, it's going to take a long time to break them open unless you try something else or get someone else to help. It's up to you whether you wish to call for aid. Nivara.
Yeah.
Oh, go on, Ben, if you want to do that now.
Do you mention it?
Yeah, I'll say out loud this fucking crate, but you all pull out a crowbar
Oh, I was just about to hand you a crowbar.
and a hammer.
Okay, roll strength at advantage if you have crowbar.
Yeah, I got Dungeoneer's pack.
Yeah, no. You get you get advantage because you've got the appropriate tool for the job. So strength with advantage. Nivara, you're checking around for another seam, and the wall to the right, because this is a rectangular room, the wall to the right as you've walked in, you find another seam, another door, another button. Do you press it immediately?
Checking. No, I am still going to check for weird arcane things, potential mechanical, whatever I need to. I'm checking. Getting a
Make
little
an
bit
Arcana
bad
check.
vibey. Yeah, I'm getting a strong bad vibe. Uh, 15?
You don't notice anything Arcana based on the door at this time.
Cool. I'll shout over to Polar and get her to do a little mechanical look. Just make
Polar
sure
is
there's
currently
no
assisting with the crates.
Fine, I'll wait.
Okay, we'll go over to the crates then. Very easily, with the appropriate tools, you're able to break these wooden nails and like break open the top of one of the nearby the crates near to the floor. 'Cause some of them are stacked relatively high. The crates are like 3-4 foot by like in a cuboid shape, and you can see inside that this seems to be a store for base alchemical supplies. At least in this crate that you've opened, you see a lot of crystals, fuel for fires. You can see vials and jars and bottles. You can see some liquids, some powders, some probably long rotten herbs.
Alright. Are we
And at this
open
point,
Xbox, so we can
yeah,
move on?
Paula does get shouted. You may continue on your own if you wish,
Yeah.
Jose. You still get advantage anyway because of the...
Yeah, I'll
thing.
do another one whilst I'm fucking with
Yeah.
the door.
Then Paula, do you wish to go and do an investigation check?
Yeah,
door.
checking for traps,
Jose,
mechanisms.
you open another crate, and this one, you notice, seems to hold martial equipment, armors and weapons, ancient. These are, whereas the weapons that you wield now are steel, these look to be iron. You can tell because the metal is darker and ever so slightly softer. You would know the difference, I would say, because you're a pretty knowledgeable person about armaments, weaponry, and things like that. And you would notice these are very old weapons.
Wait, it's like finding a Roman arsenal, isn't it? Like you're like,
Yes, well, this is you finding Iron Age stuff.
yeah.
You're finding, like, this is before steel was invented.
Assyrian shit, baby.
But this crate seems to have armaments, and just as a thing, there's probably 20-30 crates. Given the vast difference in them, you would assume that this is essentially the stockpile of everything this base probably had and needed. You may certainly take the time to one by one crack these crates. It's going to take time, but there could be something useful in one of them, maybe. And I wouldn't say necessarily the two you've opened are terribly useful to you, but maybe to Novara with the alchemical supplies.
If we're moving on, he'll move on. He doesn't want to be. If the others are sorted.
Ola, you don't notice the door to be trapped at this time.
Yeah, I'll just push it open.
And it opens the exact same as all the other doors before it. And when the door touches the wall, braziers and sconces inside light the way. Whereas before the hallways have been 5 to 10 feet, this one is about as long as the door is wide. It's not very long. And it opens into a well-lit, heavily dusty, but well-decorated bedroom. Ornate with gilt and well-decorated and well-carved furniture, desks and drawers and writing desks. There's even directly opposite you as you look into the room, staring back at you, yourself, as you catch yourself looking in a mirror. You can see a large four-poster bed, complete with canopy. You can see trunks and chests and wardrobes. This, if it wasn't so filthy and rotten and attached to such a barbaric room behind, could quite easily fit, although a little out of fashion, in a room of a nobleman's house. Silks and fabrics of bright and well-dyed and vivid colours, patterns of satin and silk. What do you do?
I first thought loot the place.
Right, so...
I follow her in, please.
Okay. And again, one by one, you will all eventually, and if Josiah, you wish to catch up with the intention of maybe going
Yeah,
back
I will.
later, maybe not, that's fine. You will all see this decorative layout. You notice that the color scheme is definitively of like a navy blue with a white trim, for the most part. There are some outliers of reds, purples, greens, but the majority of the room, the bed, and the floor with the rugs is of a blue, a dark blue.
Can I, before Paula starts looting, can I just start looking around for paper or anything like that that might, or runes to say that this might have been trapped in some way? I don't know. Just having a look around to see, be like, this place might be hallowed or unhallowed or whatever it is. I can't remember is that phrasing.
Do you have any means of checking for hallowed or consecrated earth?
No, I was just going to try and just have a look around, really.
Because
Just
the
if anything
problem
pops
is,
out.
the way I understand hallowed and consecrated ground to be, unless it's overt, like you see fucking occultist symbols and like antichrist and fiendish symbols, or holy symbols or whatever, there's no real way to visibly check. The ground just is, unless you have the appropriate spells, like Detect Good and Evil, I believe, does it. I forget. That might not be right. It might be a different spell, but similar.
Would I just be able to have a look around for paper then? I'm looking for notebooks, scrolls, hidden compartments, that kind of drill, you know.
Investigation check.
Thank you. Sorry, I know I was asking too much. I'm just trying to cover all
No. It's
bases.
fine. It's just I don't believe that you would have the ability to, unless like you saw like a nun massacred and like there was all like fiendish symbols on the floor, or the opposite with the demon. Do you know what I mean? There's no real way to check unless you have the appropriate ability.
That's a 9.
You start rifling through the drawers, opening them one by one. Some contain clothes, many contain jewelry. Various different trinkets and amulets of brass, silver, gold. You even spot one medallion of platinum. Very nice, very intricate. Some with gemstones, some with not. Some with symbols of gods that you are not quite familiar with, some that you are. Some with countries that have disappeared from existence, some that still exist today, although different from when you remember. And you see these drawers of wealth and value. You open another drawer and find a mixture of crystals and stones that are probably used for something. Some have a faint glow to them, so you daren't touch them immediately. Another drawer you open has scrolls. You recognize a spell scroll when you see them. You can see that there are some spell scrolls inside, but again, you're hesitant to touch anything in the drawers just in case. At the moment, you are just opening, looking, and shutting the drawers. Next to the bed, you see in one of the small desk-side tables a ornate dagger made of gold with a curved blade that almost looks like you know, a fisherman's knife, where it's got like that curved blade to it. It's got, yeah, not quite like a sickle, but it's got like a scimitar's curve to it almost. You notice a blade like that in one of the drawers. The wardrobes with multiple sets of fanciful robes and cloaks that would fit a humanoid quite well, of a similar shape to the corpse in the other room. Shoes that fit well. And that's about it. With the exception of items repeating themselves of clothes, weapons, trinkets, and jewels.
Well, can we put everything into a sack, all the treasures?
Okay.
Spell scrolls.
You grab the spell scrolls, you grab the jewels, you grab all the trinkets, the jewelry, and just start one by one. You grab like the weapons that you see in like the drawers, anything that looks a little unusual and maybe a little fancy, and you start just swiping it. Do you bother with all the clothes, or do you just leave that behind? Furniture, like the mirrors and stuff. Do you bother with any of that, or is it just the stuff in the drawers?
I'll grab some.
Some clothes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a hat?
Roll a d20. There is, technically. I just want to double check the name. I don't want to get the name wrong. Just give me a sec. Let me Google it. Yeah. Made of a dark blue. with strands of white coming out the top. You spot a fez sat in the bottom of one of the wardrobes.
I'll take it.
I'm assuming you know what a fez is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
I figured you would. I just wanted to make sure.
Traditional Turkish headwear.
Yes.
Would be classed the clothes as fine.
Let me get the player's handbook to just double check.
Does anyone want to check if there's another hidden door? Leave.
Yeah, no, they're definitely fine clothes, Matt.
Cool.
I would say, just for the sake of it, you get 3 sets of fine clothes. They're like robes rather than like trousers and top. It's more like a gown robe, like what you'd almost expect like scholarly magey people to wear.
Yeah, can we look for a hidden door like Josiah has recommended?
Make a investigation check.
Is it at advantage again?
Yes, because you know the mechanism you're looking for now. It gets to a certain point when you see the same thing occurring over and over. You know what you're looking for.
Oh, 25.
You don't find another mechanism in this room. It seems that this is a dead end at this point in the bedroom of what you would assume to be Lasha.
I suggest we leave, or maybe check for another door in the main area because we went to the left. Maybe there is on the right another. Based on the layout of the rooms, are we going round the outside of the hexagon, or have we only gone halfway round?
As you entered the hexagon, you found a mechanism on the wall immediately to your left, which led to the caged chamber. And then obviously from there, you found the bedroom in the caged chamber room. Give me... right, so if you look here, I'll just quickly draw. So you've got the entrance ceremonial chamber here, and then you've got like... and then this is like, I'm just going to do a circle, but that's essentially the chamber into this hexagonal room here. And then you found a small chamber here. There's the cage room, and then you found the small bedroom attached like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Navarra's going to start heading back once we've picked up everything that she found, because I'm going to go look if there's something on any of the other walls in the hexagon. She will also say this to the others, based on the location and the size of the building.
How far away are we from the ship?
About half hour, maybe. That's how long it took you to get here, ish. But Navarra, as you walk back into the cage room, you hear Josiah try his joke once more about the what's a skeleton's favorite wine?
A full body.
Yeah, you hear Josiah say it in front of you, as it is mimicked back in his voice. And as you instinctively go, yes, Josiah, I get it, a full body. And then Josiah, you hear, because it's too far away for you to hear the reverb, but you hear Navarra's sarcastic response to you as if you said it.
It was a good fucking joke.
And Navarra, you hear that behind you.
She immediately messages behind her, like in the direction that she knows Josiah to be, and is like, something is talking to me in your voice. Maybe you should come, quick.
Alright, everyone fucking go now, quick, out to Navarra.
And she's keeping an eye out ahead of her, just kind of standing there exactly where she
and the room is lit. So make a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay, yeah. Dice, don't do me wrong this time. Okay. 13?
You see no movement, but you roughly gather that the sound is coming directly in front and or slightly to the left of where you're stood looking into the room from
So
the
if I'm
bedroom.
stood, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it might be
So
over
just
here
hang on,
somewhere.
I'll use the measure. So it's like there and maybe like slightly this way as you're looking down into the room.
Could it be in the direction? Well, I was thinking, is it coming from the direction of the skull? Is the skull mocking?
That sounds like that could be correct, yeah. As you remember Josiah throwing the skull over his shoulder and behind him.
Fuck's sake.
She'll start edging forward.
You could be on our side. We might have an undead army that's ready to kick UNT butt. I don't know.
Yeah, she'll start moving towards the sound slowly, and just go.
I think we're all here now. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Step by step, you move slowly towards the source of where you remember the noise, and you see the skull on the floor that Josiah had picked up and mocked, and like did the joke with, and then tossed. It's just lying there, motionless.
Hello? I'm sorry. Just trying to cheer up my crewmates. I don't think you'd take it personally. And they can't have been dead.
Looking here, can I look down that short little way into the other room?
Yeah.
And just check the body. Like it's not sitting up, is it?
You can't. The same thing with Paula. You can't see where the corpse was from this room. You'd have to
Cool.
go.
I'm gonna summon Kavane.
Yep.
Like put my hand on Josiah's shoulder, and then I'm gonna sing Kavane down slowly until it can just see, and then I'm gonna look through its eyes. So I'm just like watching it as it's walking down, very slowly and carefully.
Make a stealth check followed by a perception check.
Stealth followed by perception. Using Kavane's stats, so this might be great. Check if I've done this right as well to set him up a little character sheet. Stealth,
Hello?
Please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Ben.
Back.
and then perception.
11 followed by a 6.
Yep.
Kavane stealthily makes his way down, and you eventually start by seeing the feet, the legs, moving up the body, and you can see the body motionless, still in the position you left it in, with the same 2 syringes sticking out of its arm.
It's free.
3.
No, Kavane sees 2.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Like Josiah feels Naya's hand just tighten slowly as she comes. She's gonna zip him out. There's only 2 syringes in the body. I don't know if it's just Kavane because of the angle. He's a little smaller, but.
As you're still holding the skull, Naivara, as you zip back, you hear the skull sourceless, and it's sourceless-ish from the fact that it doesn't have like vocal cords, just quietly say in a voice, "None of you are going to leave here alive. You're going to join us."
Oh no.
Right, I said I'm sorry. Look.
Okay.
We want to kill Yonti. Just let us go.
And you
Let's go.
And you start to hear as bone on metal clangs as the animated skeletal remains start to jangle in their cages.
Can we run?
Yeah.
Where?
I'm dropping the skull back into the
Right.
main room.
Run, main room, go.
You've run into the room where the experimental
I'm dropping
chamber
the
is.
skull.
Yep, I heard.
I'm dropping the
You've
skull
run
on the
back
ground.
into the
Yeah.
experimental room and you see the same Yuan-Ti corpse in the center of the room with the 1 syringe sticking out of its arm.
Right, run out.
Run. Let's go.
Yeah, as we're running, I'm going to say to Josiah, like, out of breath, she will go, when we get outside, I will collapse the columns.
Yes,
Ceiling.
good.
You enter
And then-
into the ceremonial chamber room once more, and you see the small archway that will eventually, as you remember, expand bigger and bigger. You start making your way down and going past sconce 1, sconce 2, 3, 4, 5,
Ducking
6,
it.
and you're waiting to like see the sunlight ahead of you, and it never comes.
Oh, Scooby-Doo does. Yeah.
It's dark ahead of you, and you eventually hit the end of the hallway, a dead end. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing but cold stone greets you.
We've definitely headed in the same direction. We've not gone off course. We did literally follow it down.
You have keen mind. You know that's the truth.
Right, you two scholars figure out. I'll got it. Defend the back with me.
Okay. Puller, can you open anything? Are you able to knock and it open? I cannot do it. Can you?
No.
Shit. I'm looking for the seam, like running my fingers up the side, looking for any sort of hole anywhere. Like, yeah, we just turn into full on like.
You hear?
And I mean,
You
in
he-
depth.
You
I'm
hear
shouting things
echoing.
down the corridor.
You
Yeah.
hear echoing down the corridor and probably unknown away. The reverberations of the sound. The best way in real life description is when you hear a woman with high heels walking down a corridor, and you know that echo as each clack from the heel makes, but more echoey and a bit hollow sounding at the same time. It's not got quite that clack thud. It's more of like a tink. As you hear tinking and clacking, reverberating down. What do you shout, Josiah?
I'm just like, where are you, bastard? I'm just trying to like see if it responds so I know I can track where it is. I'm just trying to goad it really.
we've still got light, right?
Yeah,
Like,
oh
we
no.
can
Yeah,
see
it's lit.
No, yeah, but
Um,
I'm seeing if I can hear it if it's like 30 foot, 50 foot, whatever.
Ben,
Hello.
can Josiah make a dexterity saving throw?
Okay.
Okay, that's a success. As you just kind of hear like a slight whip type sound, and you kind of take an instinctual couple steps back as landing in front of you, embedded very slightly into the stone, chipping the tip. A syringe. Plunger down, similar to the ones you saw in the main experimental chamber, as it just hits the floor and the tip breaks off and just lands flat on the floor.
He's throwing his fucking needles at us. Come on.
Yeah, we're looking.
And you see at the end of the corridor, obviously it's a bit far away, but you can see there's a figure stood at the opposite end of the corridor, slightly shambling, as it like shuffles and shuffles. And can I get an investigation from Nivara and Paula?
Oh, thank fuck for that. Natural 20.
Ooh.
Mhm.
You
26.
The door, while it has a seam and you can trace your fingers around it for the parts you can reach, there doesn't seem to be a mechanism like ones you've seen deeper in on this side on the walls around by the door. You don't see anything. The only thing, there's the three things that come to mind. One, the mechanism might be back where you came. Two, you might be sealed in here permanently. This might have been a one-way system. You don't know. Or three, someone from the outside might have disrupted the doors. Because if you remember, the three spires opened the door. If someone has sabotaged one of them, it could, you don't know without testing, but it could shut them. And
Cool.
as the
Oh.
figure stops and stands still as you shout like obscenities at this creature, Lashah bursts into a sprint towards the front lines of the back defenders. Closer and closer and closer again. But that's where we're
Yeah.
going to end tonight,
I'm about to say drawn weapons.
Mm-hmm.
with Lashah shambling and then sprinting towards you all.
I have a plan. The last thing of this episode is probably just like, again, I do have a plan, and then that's.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Will the
I
party
think it might be the first.
get out?
I'll speak to you afterwards.
I
have a theory.
I love the paranoia that literally just saying fucking times to you guys embedded, and then just the paranoia of that room. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And guys, those that are watching, I appreciate you. I'm gonna go and chat with these guys for the moments that they stay with me. I will be seeing you all tomorrow for some Baldur's Gate 3 action hot off the press, where we definitely don't have to redo over an hour's worth of work because of fucking
No, of course
autosave bullshit.
Of course.
Yeah.
But we can get another big titty cloak GF
Yeah.
now, so it's fine.
Yeah, we got the
Oh,
light side
yeah.
and the dark side, like one for each hand.
Oh dear.
Hell yeah. But for those that are watching, I appreciate you, and I'm glad and I hope you enjoyed it. I know these guys are definitely gonna not be enjoying it right now, so I'm gonna go and speak to them. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.